So last night was fun. There was an election or something in America. I don't know, not so
I
not
heard
much.
there was a red tsunami.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I thought we'd just go through some of the funny news out of that and just do a quick roundup of what's happened there. First thing to mention, though, is just something on the website, so do go and check out on lotus.com. New article from Carl being what's the damage from the 2021 census?
I mean, you can see from the image what the damage is.
Yeah, there was actually, I did send you afterwards, there's some graphs that were made by, what was The Economist? What that map's going to look like in 2060, and they coloured in the most foreign areas red. It's just like, okay.
Subconsciously, they knew.
They made that executive decision.
Yeah.
But we shall begin. I mean, most of the results from the American midterms, of course, are minor or not that important, such as local elected person is a lesbian. I don't care. But that's what I mean. I'm not going to go into all the results, obviously.
Yeah.
Not here for that. Also, not a
They're
Yankee.
not all out yet.
No.
No, it's going to take weeks.
It's amazing.
We've been told.
14 days in Georgia till the last vote is counted. They need the time. They need
Are
the
they
time.
being counted by Stacey Abrams herself or something? Which would explain it, actually.
Presumably.
Yeah.
I don't know how else you take 14 days in Georgia. Like it's Alaska or something. I think Alaska is done before Georgia. Anyway, getting into the news, so we'll
I
start.
love the idea that there are literally remote mountain towns in Alaska that can get done before Georgia. Incredible.
It's not even hard, but there. Yeah. So we'll start off just with the news as it broke. This was the CNN exit poll, so even CNN had to admit that, don't look good. This is their exit poll of how people thought the United States was going right now.
So 25% of people, one quarter of people, think everything's brilliant under the Democrats and the Biden regime. Right? You've got, 73% or whatever it is that are disappointed or angry. Dissatisfied or angry. So actively do not like the way things are going.
I mean, at least we have a lower margin of who's clinically insane. I mean, everyone else, I think, is correct.
Well, yeah, but it's just remarkable how like all of the signs genuinely were there for the Democrats to take a whipping this time, and for some reason, it just didn't occur.
No, it's interesting how most of the country hate how everything's going and the results are what they are.
But I'm going to vote for the people doing it.
Let's move to the next link here because we have more from that, which is CNN decided to sit around and be as middle class as they possibly could and insist that they were very upset because they went through all that polling and they had the issues list and they were disgusted because democracy was not number one. Who knew? Let's play the clip and enjoy that.
Is that the numbers in these exits do not line up with what we were seeing in the polling data going into this election about what people cared about and the order in which they ranked it. So we have had a lot of questions throughout this time about new voters, people that hadn't been in there before that were perhaps not getting captured by the polling. So maybe this is a sign that we're going to see a little bit more of that tonight than we expected. We obviously don't know yet.
And you know what's missing from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 5 issues? Democracy.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even in here.
Not
It's not to say
response.
that it's not an issue for people, but it doesn't
Not
even
the
come
issue.
close.
Well, Not the
I
issue.
do think that
Oh, yeah. Wait, why would democracy be an issue when we're in the middle of a vote? That's the process of democracy taking place.
Why don't we talk about construction when building the building?
Yeah.
So,
No one's
what?
talking about the concept of construction as we put up these walls. So why?
We're in the process of it.
It's not even the foreman's top concern. He's not talking. He's got a list of 5 things he wants done today, and construction isn't on there.
Yeah, where's our lecture on building theory?
It's just remarkable how dumb these people are.
Yeah, but I just can't get over how everyone around, like, she brings this up. Number one, like, even aside from the fact that you're doing the democracy part, so it was why
We're doing it right now, you moron.
But okay, we'll take the steelman position, which is that, why are you not complaining about January 6th? That's what they got in their heads. And all these idiots around them just go, oh yeah. But you can tell the fact that no one brought them up. They all know. It's because it's a huge waste of time. Nobody cares. But because they're on air and they work at CNN, they're going, oh yeah, that thing. We're all
Weirdly,
obliged
people
to care about.
in the middle of a vote don't think democracy is over. There's something about the act of voting that makes people think that democracy is taking place.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's usually in those countries where there's no voting that people usually care about democracy and then why. And so why don't we have some of that
Yeah, in China, democracy is actually a concern.
here?
Allegedly. Well, yeah, they are too. Well, I mean, God, I don't know.
All our unelected leaders.
God.
Sorry, anyway.
Carry on.
We'll go to the next link here, which is more of this sort of thing. which we can see the response from people in the United States who were enjoying the fact that they were killing democracy in real time. How could they? A lot of memes came out of this, and I thought we'd enjoy some of them. So this one here is just Alex Jones perusing. It says, me running errands and thinking about how it only took me 15 minutes to destroy democracy.
By voting.
Yeah, it's amazing, that. Yeah. If we go to the next one, we have another format, which I did enjoy. Democracy versus my ballot. Fauci versus the puppies.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was quite a little game to see who could get the most edgy out of this as well, which there's quite a few of those.
That's harsh.
Go to the next one. It's another format there. There we are. My ballot, killing democracy. And the last one here, which I think gets my vote for the funniest. There you have it. There's my ballot. We'll move on to also the fact that some people were taking the vote very seriously because they deeply cared about democracy.
Well, the democracy's over if you vote for the wrong party.
It is indeed. And yeah, we had this guy here decide to come in and vote for the wrong party. Democracy is on the ballot this year. And what does he put on the ballot? Bend over, being the first one, of course. We then have, what was it? Huge Erection and Mike Hawke, which I'm sure good lucks to all those lads. Anyway, there's also then
Coming shortly behind Ligma Johnson.
yeah, I know it's a bit crass, but I did actually enjoy the stupid memes that came out of this because I don't know about you, but it seems to have been a genuine feeling of unseriousness about this.
Yeah. I mean, something of a feeling of a foregone conclusion, perhaps.
Yeah, that's just not really gonna bother. And yeah, well, we'll go to the next one here. We can see more of that, which is CNN decided they had a foregone conclusion, which is that the children who are their audience, and I say that because that's unironically what they think of them, had to be warned and told what to do tonight. Put down the bottle, go to bed early, drink your milk. CNN, John King says here, stay off social media, people.
I mean, that could just stop there. Just stop there. Just stay off social media, people.
Stop watching CNN. It's literally poison. It's not helping you in any regard.
Go outside. Talk to your neighbours.
Yeah. If you're trying to figure out, are there really issues in the voting, trust your local officials and trust us here. We are the truth sayers. The only
I live
ones.
in a Democrat state.
Trust your local officials who,
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going
Trust
to...
CNN, they would never lie.
just... Of all the things CNN have done, it's just like... I can't get over how even amongst the left CNN are a meme. Like, do you remember during the BLM protests, they went to the office?
Yeah.
They started chanting FCNN and then attacking the building.
In Atlanta, yeah.
And CNN, at the same time, were running stories about how BLM
mostly
were
peaceful
peace.
protests at the CNN offices.
It's just unbelievable how that whole history goes. We'll get the next one here, because the New York Times decided to outdo CNN.
Oh.
Treating their readers as children.
Here are some evidence-based strategies that can help you cope.
They use the word. They use the word cope. Unironically, here are your 5 coping methods for this evening.
I love this breathe like a baby.
Yeah.
Focus on expanding your belly as you breathe.
I'm not... no. You're expanding your chest if you want to get more oxygen in, not your belly.
I'm listening to the evidence-based experts at New York Times.
Or you could try it at home.
No, I'm trying it now.
Chest. You want to... Anyway. Coping strategies like no others.
Limit your scrolling. Also, get off social media. But that's the thing, isn't it? They expected to get absolutely destroyed.
Yeah. I don't know. There might be a reason why they expected that. It might have been because they'd asked their, readers, voters, neighbours, anything.
All of the signs were there.
How are things going, my friend? And it's just like, everyone's like, it's terrible.
Everyone's like, I hate the Democrats.
What they've done to this country is unbelievable. Why are they promoting crime as if it's a moral good?
Yeah.
That's friggin' weird.
Yeah.
So we were on Lauren Southern and Lauren Chen's stream yesterday.
Yeah.
And there was Blair White came on after you went, in which she gave a speech about how a lot of Hispanics care about crime. And she's talking about this, and I'm sort of chuckling to myself because it's a very good point. She's like, the Democrats didn't seem to realise that maybe Hispanics don't want crime, and they live next to the black neighbourhoods, and therefore, when all the crime turns up in black neighbourhoods during the BLM riots, they weren't a fan of that.
But the blacks don't want crime either.
Yeah, but she explains all of this, and then we sort of joke at the end, go, yeah, fair point, crime bad. But
But that's the level of discourse in America at the moment. It's like, but Republicans are like, crime isn't good.
it's a bad thing to be murdered.
And the Democrats are like, you're a racist.
Have you ever tried being murdered? It's good for you, actually.
Yeah.
It's one of the coping mechanisms. But the fact that that's the conversation, And then you
One way to
have
soothe election stress: stand on the platform on a subway and wait for a while.
that's an American conversation that's been going on in every community, every neighborhood, and then you have the left wing media coming out and saying, "Okay, we're going to get destroyed because of that." I think it would be telling, but I guess we'll see.
I mean, I can see why they expect it to get destroyed.
There's some more copiums in here for people listening. If we go back just to copium, I want to read all of them because they're funny. Try 5 finger breathing, some more breathing exercises.
What's 5 finger breathing? Trace the outside of your hand with your pointer finger. When you trace up, breathe in. When you trace down, breathe in.
They actually think that all readers are
This
in
is
children.
literally like California progressive hippie nonsense.
Yes. I don't know why they published this. I expected them to have deleted it by now, but no, they're still up.
Cool down. Plunge your face into a bowl of ice water.
For 15 to 30 seconds, as if you're actually mentally retarded.
I love the idea that there's some sort of soy jack in California who's got his ice water. He's like, right, darling, I'm going to go for the just right, holding his breath. Like, I can only do 15. Can't do the full 30.
But like, are you actually Angron? Ron DeSantis has been re-elected. I can't endure this.
Move. Even a walk around the block. It's well, that's a bit dangerous, actually. I mean,
So the
too
advice
many
is,
heroin addicts.
become a hippie, drown yourself, and stop looking at it.
Just touch grass.
Yeah. Sorry.
Regress to being a baby and get off the social media. Good advice from the New York Times.
Buy yourself a pacifier, I guess. Anyway, but there's the actual copium that was published.
You say that, but in 10 years' time, can you honestly tell me that they won't all be having dummies in their mouths?
Well, it'll be good because when you gnaw, you won't be grinding your teeth anymore about how Trump man has been elected.
It'll be just literally like adult left-wing soy jacks with dummies in their mouths protesting for, I don't know,
Now that you say it,
a right to transition a dog or something.
I'm actually calling that prediction. I think that's probably going to be true.
Honestly, look where they're going.
Anyway, we shall move on to the next link here, which is the entirely predictable pivot we saw.
The
night.
Republicans are cheating, are they? Right, okay.
We're allowed to say that.
Right. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Good point.
So this was a guy on MSNBC who decided to come out and say the level of voter suppression in Georgia, only in Georgia, is beyond anything we saw in 2018. We can't say that whatever happens tonight is a fair and equitable election.
Well, we disagree. We on the Lotus podcast know, because Susan Wojcicki has told us, that there's nothing wrong with any of these elections, and there can't be anything wrong. We've a priori determined these are perfect elections. So this person should be deplatformed for misinformation.
But he advocates for the Democrats. He's saying that Stacey Abrams' victory has been stolen by the shenanigans.
Really?
So that's allowed to be permitted.
I guess so. I guess Stacey Abrams is going to storm the Georgian Senate House.
Yeah. And to take this to a side for a minute, like the whole activity of Americans arguing about their election integrity, number one, like that's part of a free country.
Yeah,
like,
you would think.
If you weren't able to question it, then
It's
what
literally
happens when
North
it goes
Korea.
wrong? Yeah, well, if it goes wrong, well, then what?
Nothing.
You can't question it.
No.
That's a good system.
Who does that benefit? The
But-
people who don't want it questioned.
Yeah, so I mean that's a bit weird, but it also just from an outside perspective, I don't know about you, but I've always seen like every single time whichever side loses always talks about the problems with the system, but like even with nothing going on, like the American system just seems broken beyond belief.
Yeah.
The fact that it takes Georgia apparently 14 days to have all the votes counted, not next night. I mean, there was a great point. I think it was Nuance Bro that made it.
Yeah.
It's like after what happened in Florida with Bush, they fixed that system. The results were in like 30 minutes
Sensible.
because they knew, okay, we can't have this happening again.
Yep.
I don't know why the rest of the country hasn't learned that lesson, but whatever. Speaking of Florida, he's won. He won bigly.
Good man.
Very big. Even got the vote from the Don himself.
Yeah, I saw the Miami. Did he?
Yeah.
That's nice.
The Don said he voted for him, so...
Oh, well, what's his options, really? Democrat. But even in like...
Imagine if he voted for Chris Christie. That'd be really weird.
It's Charlie Crist, not
Sorry,
Chris
Charlie.
Christie.
Oh, who
But
cares?
that would be really funny. But anyway, like I saw a bunch of them, again, CNN and like MSNBC, like almost in tears over the Miami-Dade results because, like, in Florida, for some reason, they don't like being oppressed.
No, and if you scroll down on this, John, there is a point where they show like a map of the state with arrows coming out of it, and that's the map I want to show on this slide here, because you can see the results, and there you are. It's not that clear with the black, but you can see, if you can, there are just red arrows in every single county, and not small ones either, showing that
Yeah.
every single county in Florida leaned more Republican this election than the previous one for governor, and overwhelmingly are just like all signing up for Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
I mean, uniform.
Yeah.
Not a single blue arrow to be seen.
Left is crazy. We're out.
We're not part of this, which is amazing. And
Yeah.
one of the things that is, let's say, awing for the American right, I imagine, because after tonight's results, which weren't a huge red wave for the Republicans, but for DeSantis and Rubio, it's been an amazing night for them.
Very good endorsement.
I've seen a lot of Republicans, specifically Matt Walsh, making a big point that, well, from their perspective, this is an argument for why actually it needs to be Ron DeSantis now to be the candidate, not Donald Trump. And I think this probably, if you're Ron DeSantis or his team, gives you a big indication that you might do it instead of just bowing out.
Yep.
And it'd be interesting to see what happens, but it's I think it definitely will have an impact. We got the next one here. We have New York, which also, if you scroll down to where that same sort of graph is, the Democrats won here for the governor race. But amazingly, every single county also leaned red. All of New York is like, the hell with this.
No,
But
they're not though, because they
not
still.
enough.
Yeah, they're like there are enough of them. Are like, no, look, we just need a few more train deaths. We need a few more murders, stabbings, rapes. Just a few more. And then we need to release the criminals out on bail to do it again.
I remember
Without bail. Like, just a few more.
Lawrence Southern mentioned there's that article where they were like, yeah, well, violent crime might be up. If you get rid of murders, violent crime's down. I love the idea that you have people in New York who are like, well, members of my family have been raped, but they weren't murdered. So actually, things not that bad.
Yeah.
Unironic. Just the level
Better
of
the
crazy.
devil you know, Callum.
So I guess New Yorkers enjoy if you voted for that.
Get what you deserve.
We go to Georgia, which also just turned redder if you go down to the same sort of graph, which is just, it's amazing.
I don't know why they keep running Stacey Abrams. I think that she is actually the problem.
Yes.
Like, she's so bad.
But just look at that map again. Just every county, except like a couple of small ones there in the highly populated areas.
Yeah.
We have Stacey Abrams' work being done. If you go to the next link, we can see just how mulch Stacey Abrams got. It's 75% reporting just on Wikipedia. Just have it there. It's like
It's still 45%.
it's
though.
like 5% down what she got last time, though, or whatever.
Yeah, but there's still, like, she's obviously terrible.
Yeah.
And she's, a genuine threat.
She's also an election denier. To this
Yes,
day, she
yeah.
actually,
Yeah, that's
if
true.
people aren't aware, she refuses to accept the 2018 gubernatorial election where she lost.
Yep, that's true.
She ran again and has lost even harder, so there's that. But she's allowed to, of course, which is why that chap earlier was allowed to talk about it. Only for her. And then we go to the next one. We also have Beto O'Rourke getting mulched, which is good news.
Has Beto O'Rourke ever actually held an office?
I don't know, actually.
Because I know who he is, the repeated failure for governor of Texas. But
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, the Texan failure is all I really think of.
Yeah.
There were some graphs showing that he basically, in Texas, he's got the cities, like every hive city,
Obviously, yeah.
votes blue. And then, like, some areas on the border, and I just don't understand those border zones.
Well, they are predominantly Mexican immigrant.
Sure, but I don't know if you saw, Lord Miles went there recently, he did a video about it.
No, I
and
didn't see it.
he's there on the Rio Grande, and he's in this town, and the guy's showing him around, and like, yeah, we're all Hispanic, like, everyone here is Hispanic.
Yeah.
And we all can hate this. They've got, like, a new cemetery that's literally a month old, filled with corpses of children, where the parents have dragged them through the river and drowned their kids and themselves.
Christ.
Can you imagine being in that border town and voting blue?
No.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm looking at those other border states and just be like, how on earth is that happening? After seeing what Miles is showing, just, what people
I have
like.
no idea.
It's just crazy. Anyway, good to see him get mulched.
Yep.
But the biggest news being that brain damage was on the ballot, and brain damage won. I really like this. I think this is great news. I'm not upset about this at all. Don't know about you. So,
It's nice to see that someone who is not capable of actually constructing a sentence is an electable proposition for the Democrats.
yeah, disability representation. Like, they had a disabled president twice now.
Yep.
Roosevelt and now Joe Biden, and now we have disabled senators, which
Yep. Cognitive impairments are not an obstacle for Democrat candidates.
no, and this is amazing on a number of levels. I mean, number one, we were chatting about this earlier.
This guy's a doctor. It's
Like-
like, no, I'm not voting for that.
Well, I saw that there were a lot of Republicans who hate Dr. Oz because of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
sliminess, which I'm not
Obviously.
unsympathetic to. We have our conservatives. And
I'm sure John Fetterman is nothing but a good boy who's done nothing wrong.
But if you look at the votes, like I just looked at the previous election for this round and then this one, and you can notice that there's a 17% drop in Republican votes, just votes in total. Like, the Republicans just didn't show up to vote for Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Because what's the point? He's slimy, which I imagine is the narrative there.
Yeah.
But a similar thing happened for the Dems as well. Just people didn't turn up.
Well, I mean,
to
one
vote.
argument would be I don't want to be governed by someone who is, medically retarded.
Yes.
Would be one argument.
I mean, if you were a voter in Pennsylvania and your options were, like, slimy man or medical retardation, I can see why you didn't vote.
Yeah.
I'm not confused about that one. But for the Dems, I mean, if you literally just have a man who can't make a decision and instead you just have him push the button you tell him to, it is perfect, I suppose.
I can't believe they run a guy whose opening gambit is "Hello, good night."
I want that on a shirt.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably sell them on a shirt.
Yeah, I look forward to buying them. And for people who don't know,
50% of people are like, "Yeah, I think that's my guy."
I too am retarded. Yeah, could be a load of Pepe's.
Okay.
Michael Malice, very happy. But yeah, the next one here, for people who don't know, you should go and check out just any of his speeches, but even just his own campaign ads are unbelievable that he would put that out. For people who haven't seen it, I suppose we'll play the audio from this just real quick. Sorry I didn't put it in.
Mr. Fetterman. Mr. Fetterman,
Yeah,
you need any help?
I'm running for the U.S. Senate, kid. I need all the help I can get.
You're running for Senate?
Sure.
Where's your suit? And your flag pin?
In your brain.
And your hair?
Oh, hey, kid.
I just want you to know I'd vote for you.
Hey, thanks, kid.
You want a drink?
Nah, no.
Really, you can have it.
Okay. Thanks.
See you around.
Hey, kid. Catch.
Wow! Thanks, Mayor John.
Yeah, you can pause it there. I know it's a reference, but it's like watching Oblivion.
Half of the voters. How is that not a parody?
It's just stellar acting. Here, have a drink. Thanks, kid. Anyway, sorry, but that's the stuff he puts out of his own, and then there are just the speeches he gives, which, as you rightly say, go something like "Good morning, good night."
Yeah,
which is
he's gone. Like the guy had a stroke. It's not his fault, but
no,
like
it's not fair. Like, you should retire the man just for his own sake.
Rest.
Anyway, we end off just with some sad news first, which is that the Zoomers have done their job. The indoctrinated Zoomers.
Oh yeah,
they came out in droves apparently to vote. So there we have it. Vote from the youth apparently counted, as you have there plus 28 Democrat for 18 to 29s.
Yeah, well, good for them.
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah, I'd like to vote for the destruction of my country and the destruction of my future. I don't want to ever own a house or a business. I'd like to have unlimited migrant work to compete with what I do.
For the indoctrinated youth, I absolutely think that's the case. But I think also a lot of the other youth who just didn't vote, it's just like, well, I don't have anything anyway. It's just like, to hell with it. Screw the system. And in that case, I don't just mean just being an angsty teenager, but ironically, what's the point in this civilization? Which I'm sympathetic to say the least. Anyway, we'll end on some good news, though, which is shout out to Crowder. This is impressive.
Oh, wow.
This was his election coverage on Rumble. And I just want to mention, just because this is amazing. So he has on here, this is last night this was, 2.5 million views.
That's brilliant.
On his election coverage on Rumble. That's really, really impressive.
Yeah.
And frankly, awesome to see. To see that the alternatives from YouTube are making very good headway.
And if you are watching us on Rumble, give us some Rumbles. Come on, help us out. We haven't got 1 million subscribers on Rumble. What's going on there?
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
But also, apparently live, he had 300,000 viewers.
That's excellent.
Live. That's all Binary say. And it's just like, that's incredible. It's really good. Nice to see from Crowder. So, good job, Crowder. Otherwise, that's what happened yesterday, which was good fun. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content we have on the site, such as the premium hangouts we do, this one on Are There Big Cats in the UK? And if you'd like to find out what else we're putting out, you can follow us on Getter at lotuseaters_com on Getter. Thank you and goodbye.